This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rant of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
When ready.
I feel like the Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
Suicide attempts, how many tries does it take? They ain't ready.
Push come to shove once and for all. Moments of pause, answer the call. If it's the last dance, with that said, it's the last chance to evolve. Being a black man's been a job. Look at the loved ones I have lost. Give me a CAT scan. I can't stand when the drug starts wearing off. What they would call going through withdrawal. Nothing to fear but fear is all. Nothing to ward these spirits off. Better prepare for a tear to fall. I say a prayer for a miracle. Penning a parable to share with you.
Man, I like that joint, man. I can't stand when the drugs start wearing off. That's how I've been feeling lately. It's not like it sounds, though, but we'll get into that. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy, J. Flan. And I must start by, thanking you, as I always do, for taking whatever time out of your day to come share with me, listen to my stories, my random ramblings, whatever it is we do here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I really do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get into, so this might be a real, personal episode. I'm gonna try to keep it upbeat, keep some humor in there, but a few things I needed to address, personally, and just get off my chest. So we're gonna do that. But what we got to do first. We got to do the Chef Elise report. Before I do that, though, I do want to point out that track. That's from Black Thought's latest album. I know it's another one of those projects he did with a specific producer. I'm not going to fuck up the producer's name, but you can go check it out. It's called Glorious Games, I believe, is the name of the album. And that track is I'm Still Somehow. And I had a whole different song planned for this week's episode. And then I heard that one and I'm like, perfect. Got to go with it. So yeah, I did that one. So had to shout that out real quick. But yeah, let's do the Chef Elise report.
Out of Peppy.
You know I am. Man, yeah, this weekend, this was my weekend with Chef Elise. And we had a good time, as we usually do. I am a little perturbed. Yeah, I'm gonna use that word today, perturbed. This weekend, I guess her little soccer league, they did back-to-back games. They did a back-to-back. We've never done that. She had a game Saturday and Sunday. And it's fucked up. I don't think anybody was happy about it. This is not the NBA or no shit. There's no reason to do back-to-back games. It's just unnecessary. Just wholly unnecessary. The shit was borderline retarded. I was really, I'm not upset about it, but I wasn't happy about it. But wasn't nobody happy about it. I think everybody was praying that it rained on Sunday. I think rain was in the forecast somewhere, or they was talking about rain on the news, and everybody's watching the phone. Even Elise, that morning when we got up, because the game wasn't until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that morning when we got up, she's normally gung ho for soccer, let's go do this. And that day she was just, I think she was waiting for something to happen that it'd be canceled. Because I had mentioned maybe the game might get canceled because of rain. So I was trying to tell her don't get her hopes up, And then the next day she was just like, hey, Dad, have you checked the weather report? Did it rain? Is the game gonna be canceled? And she kept asking, as I'm trying to prepare her to get ready for the game, she's like, are you sure we're still having the game? Have you checked yet? She was trying to get me to keep checking in hopes that the game would be canceled and we could go do something more fun. But it didn't get canceled. And it was cold as shit yesterday. Texas, again, I guess this is, I'm talking to other people, and it's not just Texas, the whole country, or the whole globosphere, whatever. The whole world is fucked up right now. The seasons is just out of whack. Because I swear to God, we had a 90-degree day last week. And then it was below 60 Sunday. It was just cold for no reason. And, you got to go, find some stuff to, put under her uniform so she won't be cold. And I'm focusing on that. and I'm underestimating how cold it's gonna be for me. And so I was fucking freezing. And but all the parents there, like we just had a long ass discussion when we first got there with each other about we was hoping that this guy rained out, and everybody was checking their phones waiting for the email to say the game wasn't happening. So I guess, the moral of the story is team fuck them kids is deep. Like, it just seems like that's where, if you've been a parent for I want to say any amount of time, I think the whole, like, pink sky thing kind of wears off like the moment you get them home. I remember bringing Chef Elise home from the hospital, and she was like super chill in the hospital. Like, she didn't cry when they pricked her foot or whatever for whatever they was doing. None of that. Like, she didn't cry like damn near the whole time she was there. And we was like, damn, we got the chillest baby ever. Turns out, she was probably still a little. I didn't realize like the babies, are under the influence of the epidural too. So she was still a little drugged up. She was still a little high. And then by the time we got home and she came down, from that high, things was way different. And it went from like, oh my God, my beautiful little girl, to like, God damn it, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Just please, like, I need to close my eyes for a second. Just give me a minute. So yeah, the whole fuck them kids thing is real. Y'all know I love my daughter, but back-to-back soccer games, I was in my fuck them kids bag for real. Like, it was real. But on a cool, more positive note, this weekend, Chef Elise and I got back. We try to do the exotic fruit thing as much as we can. Like, I am getting into like having like traditions and routines with my daughter. We say the same thing to each other when we're leaving. There's certain things we say before I pull off if she's in the car, and it's stuff that we do that's repetitive and like tradition. I want it to be memories, and especially when I'm the part-time parent, so my time with her is not a lot. So I like to make sure like time with her is memorable. So we have been on this, she got the whole Chef Elise moniker because we was doing a lot of baking and stuff together. And then we got on to this whole exotic fruits thing. Like, we was just trying out. Like, I wanted to get her into the habit of not being afraid to try new things. And fruit is normally something, easy to do with kids because, it's sweet. They like it. They have a positive impression of fruits. So if you're trying to get a kid to try a new fruit, they normally more amenable to it. And so we've been doing exotic fruits, and it's kind of, we was running out of shit. Like, we just, I'm saying, I'm not getting shit imported. I'm just going to the regular HEBs, the grocery store down here. I'm just going to HEB and just, looking for something I've never had or she never had. And that's part of our grocery store trips on the weekend. Like, got to go pick out a fruit. And this week we did prickly pear, and I feel like that's a pause.
Pause, nigga.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, we had the prickly pear this week, and it was cool. Like, when we had, I had to look up how to cut it and everything, so we could try it out. And when we tried it out, like, I mean, it's nothing like crazy. It wasn't nothing like amazing, and it didn't really feel like it was a this super great daddy-daughter moment. When we tried it, it's just another fruit we checked off the list. But then after the game was over, because I decided I'm not like, I buy this fruit and then we try it. If she don't like it, if she like it, like, I'm not a health nut. I don't really eat healthy at all. So like these fruits and vegetables I buy for my Chef Elise time, they go to waste. They sit in the fridge and rot. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sending this shit home with her. So I took the rest of it, put it in the bag. We took it with us to the game. And then after the game, like, she would tell anybody that would listen about this thing. It was just, me and my dad, you know what me and my dad did? Me and my dad, we do exotic fruits, and you know what we did this week? And we tried prickly pear. It tastes sort of like a sweet cucumber. I think it would be really good with water. Like, she just, like, it was just anybody that she could get their attention. Like, you know what me and my dad did? Me and my dad. And that's like, that's the cool shit for me. I love stuff like that. Like, you feel like you're doing something right when they seem excited to talk about you or the stuff they do with you to other people. So yeah, fuck the soccer league for having us out there for back-to-back games. It's not that serious, people. Y'all have a recreational league, and then you have this whatever hyper competitive, which I don't understand exists for 7-year-olds, but y'all have that league, and we not in that. We not going hyper competitive. We just getting some exercise, meeting new friends. That's all we out there to do. So there's no reason to put us on back-to-backs. Side note with that, yeah, we had to play one of theirs. So I guess this is real. To me, this is fucked up. Like, I'm not one of them participation trophy type parents, nothing like that. And, you know, you got to, everybody's kid is the greatest. But I'm also like, I don't know. Like, I don't, certain competitive things rub me the wrong way.
Pause, nigga.
And yeah, and one of them things happens. So I guess what they do is they take, because they have the recreational league, and then they have, like, they call it the academy or something, like the academy league. And that's for, like, kids that's really trying to do this thing. And we talking about, like, they have an academy league for, like, the 5, 6, 7-year-olds. And it seems like what they do is they will take, like, the age group, like, so my daughter's in 7 and under. I'm pretty sure the team that they played this weekend was like an academy team that was like 6 and under, because them little girls were tiny. And they whooped our monkey ass. Like, we're not supposed to be keeping score, but you didn't need to be keeping score to know we was getting our ass whooped. Like, it was bad. And when the parents showed up, when we showed up and we saw the coach and we saw the players, he was like, yeah, it's going to be one of the, like, this is not going to be our day. Like, and luckily for me, my daughter doesn't give a shit. Like, she just, you know, she ran. I think they scored a goal. I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention. But she ran. She finished the game. High fives. You get snacks afterward. You know, we went and got some boba. Like, she really didn't care. But I don't know. For me, it was like, damn, you know, they got beat by the younger kids or these little kids. You know, like, I feel some kind of way. I gotta let it go. Anyway, that's all I got for the Chef Elise report.
I'm Peppy.
You know I am. So yeah, so getting into what I wanted to talk about today. I've been going through it. I'm in a slightly better place right now, but about a week or two ago, I posted some stuff about, you know, my mental health. Just saying, you know, I wasn't in a good space. You know, it was sort of, you know, a dark time for me, and you know, I was trying to work through some things. You know, I was really thinking about taking a break from the podcast. I've been grinding. You know, I've been working as hard as I possibly can. I'm on a lot of shows. I think I put a post up on all the shows that I guest spotted on last week, and then this week is going to be another one of them type of weeks where I know I'm on multiple episodes of people's shows. And shout to Dramo for that. And now I'm doing the internet radio thing, and these are all like super dope opportunities, and I'm very grateful for them, and I'm trying, you know, to take advantage of them. You know, opportunities don't always come, but yeah, man, I don't know. I felt like it was taking a toll on me, and I was just in a place that wasn't good, and you know, and I gotta be careful about that, because a person with my past, you know, with my, you know, substance abuse issues and, you know, mental health things, you know, I have attempted suicide, you know, on more than one occasion. And so when I say stuff to people about, especially people that know, when they see me say something like, oh man, I'm not in a good place, like, people might panic a little bit. And that's not really what I was doing it for. I'll get into that in a minute, but I got to be more careful with doing stuff like that. But one of the good things about, like, trying to, like, live out in the open like that and be honest, you know, with my feelings and emotions or my mental state or whatever time, is that I'm starting to see that, you know, I ain't the only one. Like, it's a lot of people right now that seem to be going through something. It's a lot of people all the time that seem to be going through something. And I think that's like an important thing. I know in the recovery community, we have a concept called terminally unique. And because it's usually, you know, with you going through it and you in the midst of it, it feels like, yeah, maybe somebody else, you know, could be feeling the same way, but they ain't feeling exactly. It's like they may be depressed, but I'm depressed. So, you know, he might be an addict, but he ain't an addict like me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He might be an alcoholic, but he ain't an alcoholic like me. And so you think you're so different that you beyond help, that whatever worked for them can't work for you because you on a different level of that shit. Your shit is different. So yeah, medication might be working for him, but it ain't gonna work for me because my shit is different. And I think, you know, the more you start like talking about it, you'll start to hear your story from other people and then realize that it's not, you know, I'm not so different and so unique that, you know, I can't be helped. There's a lot of people going through this. It's common, and there are solutions. But, you know, when you in the midst of it, sometimes it feel like it's so, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you terminally unique. Like it's your shit is so different that that you know, nobody can relate. There's not a prescribed way out of it for you, and you sometimes accept just, you know, falling into that abyss. And so that's part of the reason why, like, I post stuff like that, is just to, you know, to be out there in the public and like let people see, you know, this is what I'm dealing with. And then I usually hear from other people, yeah, I go through that too. Yeah, I go through that too. So it's good for me to hear that back from them. And I think some people need to see that, you know, other people deal with it too. But yeah, I was definitely in a bad space. And I wanted to kind of talk through a little bit of what was going on with me in hopes that maybe you can relate a little bit more. I had to do a lot of introspection, you know, during this past week or so to try to figure out, like, you know, I think like understanding your triggers and understanding, you know, what's going on with you helps you plot a course forward. Like, I'm big on that. Like, you know, if you trying to get here, the first thing that you have to do is be very honest with yourself about where you are. You can't plot a course from point A to point B if you're not being honest about where point A is. You know, so you have to say, this is where I am. This is who I am right now. This is where I want to be. And this is how I can get there. So, you know, I had to do some introspection to try to understand where I am, maybe how I got here, and then figure out, you know, how to get out. So I really got it down to like two things for me. The first one is I have social anxiety and I'm a perfectionist. And so those two things combined is really like a nice clinical way of pretty much saying I hate motherfuckers. Like I hate people in general. Most people, all people, I don't know. Yeah, probably you too. I'm sorry, but you know, I do. I love you. I want the best for you. I give you the shit off my back. I do anything I can to help. You know, if I got it, you know, it's yours kind of thing. But for the most part, like my preference, my go-to, my default is to isolate. I want to be alone. I'm more comfortable being alone. And some of that comes from like my childhood not quite fitting in, and when you the short, smart kid, and the teachers talk about you too much, and now the rest of the class don't like you because they like you too much, and you know, it just got to a point where it was easier for me to exist by myself than to try to be around other people, and I just became like over time the go-to. And so, you know, social interaction is hard for me. It's very I don't know it's exhausting. You know, it takes a toll on me. It's a lot. And you know, and it's crazy to kind of say that because, you know, as much as I want to be alone or as much as I want to isolate, like it's one of those, you know, gift and a curse, double-edged swords type things, because I want to be alone by choice. Like being alone is what I prefer, as long as if I wanted to connect with somebody, I could. You put me in that same situation, I'm in the same, like, you don't have to take anything else away. I got all the same creature comforts, whatever, you know, like money's good, or everything else is good, and I'm alone. But if I'm alone and it's because I can't reach out to nobody, like nobody fucks with me, like that's a whole different situation. Like that'll fuck with me. I guess it's a lot like I don't know if you've seen that Patrice O'Neal bit where he's telling women, like, we want you around, just not right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you somewhere in the house, just maybe not in my face. Like you could chill in the vents or something like that. Like if you want to be in the vent, that's cool. Be in the vent. but just don't be like right next to me. And as I say that, quick side note, we going on tangents today. That's what we doing. I don't know. Do women need to take like a class on like personal space or something like that? Like when I was married, add this to this reason number 294 on why I'm divorced. Because I thought this was just my ex-wife, but when I was married, like my ex-wife, I've seen like the reels and stuff, little TikToks about women doing this, so it wasn't just her. But like, if you in the bed and and you cuddling or something, and maybe my ex-wife ran hot. I called her a space heater. She ran hot. So at some point in the middle of the night, like I'm like, God damn, it's a little hot over here. I just need to cool off. Let me get some space. And like, no matter if I moved, she just moved to take up that space. And it'd be to the point where I'm like hanging off the edge of the bed now because I kept trying to move away from you, and you just suck up whatever space is in between us. And she'd be like, well, there's no room over there. I'm like, it's a whole nother side of the bed. Like, it's a complete other side of the bed that you could be on. Like, can I just for a second? Or when we were sitting, she would be on me. And it's like, like your weight is on me, your heat is on me. Like, that's cool some of the time, but not all the time. My arms going numb. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. But I'm noticing it with my daughter too. Like my daughter, like if she's next to me, she has to be like on me, and just And kids seem to find all the pressure points. They dig their elbows into your thigh, and it's the worst. She even like follows me around the house too closely, because I'm old enough now that I do that thing where I got to go back and forth between rooms to remember what the fuck I came in there for. And in the mornings when we trying to get out for a soccer game or something, I may make like 6 or 7 trips between the kitchen and my bedroom because I'm trying to make sure I got everything. And she's like, every time I turn around, I damn near trip over her because she's right there. I'm just like, you stay right here. I'm gonna keep moving back and forth. I can hear you in both rooms. We can continue this conversation, but I'm gonna be moving, and I need you to not be like right there. I need to stop. I don't want to keep running into you. I'm going to just straight truck you one of these days. I'm just going to run through you, and then maybe that'll teach you the lesson to not be right next to dad like that. That's bad. But that's not even the point of the story. I digress. My bad. What I'm trying to say is that like being around people and even being a friend, and I'm trying to learn to be a better friend, but it's work for me. Like it's work. It's exhausting. And it's not you, it's me. It's nothing wrong with you. It's nothing that people do to me that makes it, such a task. But it's me. Like, we can have a conversation and you'll walk away and move on with your day. It was just a conversation. And not an argument, not a confrontation. We may have told a couple jokes, we made a laugh, whatever it is. But it was just a conversation. Conversation's over, you move on with your day. I'm going to spend the next few hours replaying that conversation in my head, trying to make, why did I say that? Should I have said that? I should have said it this way. What did they mean when they said that back? Like, I don't know. And I feel like I got a weird look from them at some point. I probably just fucked up. Like, oh man, I hope they're not mad. And now I'm going through that until the time we speak again, and I realize it was nothing. Because, we back to wherever we was, to begin with. But I've gone through that, during that whole time between our last conversation and the next one. And sometimes I know that that's going to happen, so I don't want to talk. Like, I don't want to talk because I don't want to go through that. It's nonsense. I know it's nonsense. And that's the worst part about it. For me is that like I know while I'm thinking these things, I'm like, I don't want to be thinking this. This doesn't make sense. This is stupid. You ain't everything is good. Even if you did fuck up, like whatever. People say shit sometimes, like my life moves on. You've done way worse in the past. Like whatever it is you're doing now, is an improvement, my nigga. Like, like be easy on yourself. And I'm saying this to myself while I'm also having all this negative self-talk. So it feels beyond my control. It's just kind of something I have to accept about myself and learn to deal with and cope with. But yeah, I tend to want to isolate, and for me and the things that I've been through, like isolation is not good. Like the worst thing you could probably do for an addict is like remove connection. Like we need connection to other people, and I'm trying to maintain that. And so yeah, I say all that to say, like, this last I don't know, I want to say like 6-month run or whatever, like I've been probably the most social I've ever been in my life. Like I said, I've been working crazy on the podcast. I'm doing guest spots all over the place. I'm doing the internet radio thing now. And I don't want anybody to take this like, oh, no, we need to leave him alone because it's too much for him. Like, 'cause it's not you, it's me, and I need to get over it. And I need these things. Like I'm very appreciative and happy about these opportunities. But like it wears on me to a certain extent. I need to learn how to not, how to carry it a little bit better, and how to not take so much to heart and take so many things personally that I end up in that situation with all that weight on me. But as I am right now, it does. And so, at a certain point, even my will to push past some of that desire to isolate kind of breaks down. And so if I'm quiet, or if I'm subdued, or if I'm not, like, I don't know, however I usually am, around you, it just may be that I don't have it in me to participate in that moment. I just don't have the energy to do it. I still fuck with you. I just may be in a period where I'm overwhelmed, and that's where I think, I kind of was. Like I'm way out of my comfort zone at this point. And that's a good thing. But, baby steps. Got to pace myself a little bit. So that was one part of what was going on with me. The second thing is that I've been on this like positive kick for a couple of years. Like I'm 4 years sober, and so we probably say I've been trying to be like, Mr. Positive, sunshine and rainbows, for like the last 4 years. And I gotta, that takes some work. So one of the things in recovery, like one of the things that drove me to drink the way I did and do the things that I did is the negativity, all that negative self-talk I just, finished talking about, all that, hating people and not liking people, not wanting to be around people, finding people annoying. That just, all that negativity, I needed an escape, from a lot of that negativity. And so I realized that in my recovery. So now, one of the things they teach you to do is we gotta take an inventory on a daily basis. We gotta, be aware of our emotions, what's going on. We gotta, learn how to avoid resentments, handle resentments, and things like that. And that's what I've been trying to do. And I think I got to a point where I wasn't necessarily doing the work to handle the things. I was just trying to keep up the positivity. And so, I don't know, it's a joke in like, my podcast group that I hang out with, about like wanting to see Flan mad, like, like he's always so calm, blah, blah, blah. I definitely feel like I related to that Bruce Banner shit. When he turned around in that joint and was like, you want to know the secret? I'm always angry. Like, that's it. You don't see me mad because you always see me mad. Like, I'm always upset about something. Somebody has always gotten on my nerves. Something is always annoying to me. Something is I'm pissed off 99.9% of the time. Like, you may see me like excited and happy about something, and that's like a real thing. But that calm is like masking the pissed offness, if I can. And I think that's what also happened to me at the same time, like with this social interaction and being a little bit overwhelmed and out of my depth. And then at the same time, I've been trying not to be resentful and angry and stuff toward people, but I haven't been taking care of the emotion. I've just been not acting on it. And that's good. That's part of it. I can't act on that anger, I can't act on those resentments. Don't go do something and destroy a relationship because, you annoyed in the moment, or destroy an opportunity, or do something that you're going to be guilty about later, and then have to add that on to the stack of negative emotions that you have because you're angry in the moment. And so, yeah, I mean, the kumbaya thing is cool. It's cool. And I really have been feeling like I just want to spaz on somebody. I just want to go the fuck off one good time to get it all out. And that's what I want to do. So people been telling me like, yo, you need to exercise and stuff like that. And I should. You are absolutely right. But I don't want to. I want to Hulk out on somebody. That's what I want to do. I want somebody to do something egregious enough that I feel justified in the way that I release all this anger on them. That's what I want. That's why these neighbors, I don't want to go over there and knock on the door and say, can you mind turning the music down? No, I want them to keep doing it so that when I see them and I go to fuck off, I can be like, but they was doing this shit for months. Like these niggas is foul. That's what I know that about myself. I have to start like actually, I'm getting away from the practices. Like I'm just putting on the face and I'm just being nice, but I don't feel nice. Like that's not who I am. I'm being happy or being accommodating, but I'm resentful towards you because I have to now like pretend like everything's okay. And the thing is to acknowledge the emotion, accept it. This happened. I feel this kind of way about it. It's okay to feel that way about it, and then let it go. I'm not letting it go. I'm just throwing it in a closet somewhere. Like I deal with it later, and then that closet is overflowing. So yeah, I just hit a point where I was just, shit wasn't good. I had all this negative baggage and anger and resentment building up that I didn't have outlet for. And that drives me crazy. I was like super overwhelmed from, being social and being around people and trying to build relationships and maintain relationships, which is, just, I don't know how people do it. I just don't. I feel like I got text I need to return, respond to and shit. I just fucking don't know how y'all do it. And it got to be a lot. And I was just in a space, I think the holidays, Easter, and, the family situation and all that, it was a lot. And so for me, when I'm going through this stuff, I find that a strategy that has worked for me is to snitch on myself. Like when I'm in these spaces, when I'm in these dark spaces and I really want to retreat away, is to like, step back out, into the light. So I like to publicly let people know I'm struggling. And I'm not doing it. So like I was saying, to address like why I actually do it. I'm not doing it for sympathy or words of encouragement or anything like that. Though those things are very much appreciated. I know as much as I'm not doing it for that, I know if I got crickets, I'd probably be mad as hell, and we just add that onto the list of shit that I want to fuck somebody up for. But the reason I really do it is like to snitch on myself, to let people know. So now I know that I can't just disappear and nobody realize it. So now I know I can't go do the thing. I can't go isolate the way I want to do because I've just put people on high alert that something's wrong with me. And I know from my history, what that's going to do. If I try to isolate now, people going to come looking for me. And trust me, like going off the grid and disappearing on motherfuckers, I am the best at. I don't think they ain't. You might be as good, but you definitely not better than me at just disappearing off the face of the fucking earth. Like I've had times where my mom has left me, because when I disappear, it ain't like on y'all niggas over there. It's from everybody. Like my ex, before we got married, and I would do stuff like this. I just like, man, I just had to take a break from everybody. And she's like, well, I'm not everybody. In my world, when it's time to dip, it's everybody. Like, I love you, but you still part of everybody. Everybody got to go. I'm really good at. My mom has like left me voicemails where she's basically saying, if I don't hear from you in the next couple of days, I'm calling the police. I'm sending the folks over there. I've had police show up at my place to do wellness checks because I've just gone the fuck off the grid. Like, you just can't find me. You can't call me, text me. You're not going to see me. I'm nowhere. I just don't exist anymore. And crazy thing with that story, my mom sent me that text. I had actually months earlier than that scheduled flowers to go to her for, I think it was a Mother's Day. And I think the day after she sent me that voicemail or whatever, she got the flowers, and that was her sign that I was, that I heard. She thought I heard her message and sent her flowers to try to clean it up. Like, nah, I had that shit scheduled. I'm still off the grid. But yeah, so I do that. I try to be public about it so that I can't disappear. So, and it, not that I'm even expecting anybody to really do anything. It's just like, now I know people looking or maybe looking. So now I can't go do what I want to do. I like that. Like, for me, it creates a circle of accountability, and now, once I know people are paying attention, I got to kind of be back on my best behavior again. It kind of pushes me to do that. So that's really what that was all about. Like, I'm in a better space now. And, I've talked through and worked through like what happened. The work still needs to be done to, figure out how not to end up in that situation again or how to better cope with those things. I don't know if it's, going back on the meds or something like that, or exercise is definitely a fucking part of it. Yes, motherfuckers, the treadmill is coming. I'm gonna do it. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it. I'm working on it. Just stop suggesting it. That's annoying. But it's in the plan. It's in the plan. But that's what that was all about. And I just wanted to, and thank you to everybody that reached out. Like, a lot of people reached out, way more than I probably ever expected. And again, a lot of it was like, man, I've been through that, or I'm going through that too. And so I appreciate people reaching out and like caring about me. I got like direct messages, and like people would actually, I got like texts from people that like I wouldn't expect to get a text from. Like this may be some social media shit, and you might just fuck with me on that level. So yeah, you might respond to a Facebook post or something like that. But nah, people like actually reached out, and I do appreciate that. And special thanks to my my podcast family. Y'all are super dope. I'm not gonna run down the names because I'm probably gonna miss somebody, and then I'm gonna have to hear about it in the group chat. So fuck that. But I know for one, I can never say, nobody cares about me or nobody supports me, because that'd be a lie. Because I'm just hanging out with y'all, and and the support and the camaraderie and the friendship, that I get from you people, it means a lot. And I probably don't say it all the time because I like to isolate. I'll be in the group chat just looking. I ain't got it in me today to say nothing, or I'm always trying too hard to like have the perfect response. So by the time I done typed out what I want to say and I got the response, y'all 3 topics down. I'm like, all right, fuck it, like throw it out. I'm done. I ain't gonna try to bring that shit back up. So that's what it is. And I also want to say shouts to my big brother. Man, just one day I hope to be able to return the favor, homie. Hold on.
Pause, nigga.
I felt it was necessary. You know what I mean, though, man. You know what I mean. One day I'm gonna be there for you like you are for me, man. Hopefully not, because something catastrophic happened. I'm digging a hole. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I wanted to do this week. Is just be upfront about it, talk about what was going on, show some appreciation to people who looked out for me, and who showed some care, because it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot. So I'm out here in Texas by myself. I ain't got no family down here. I mean, I got my daughter and my ex-wife, but I've talked about that. I've talked about that situation. But it's a weird space, and from time to time, I go through things. I love y'all. I really do. This podcast thing has been a blessing for me. This is my therapy. This is where I get to get shit off my chest and just be authentic. This is how I live in the light. I spent a large part of my life, hiding, who I truly was from people, not wanting people to know, how bad the drinking was, not wanting people to know how bad the depression was, trying to pretend like you're not shy, trying to pretend like you don't have anxiety, trying to do all these things. So, there was a point in which I felt like nobody knows me, because the person that everybody knows is not me. So nobody knows me. And so when you said, I love you, when you said, when you had anything positive to say about me, it didn't register because you weren't saying it about me. You were saying it about whatever that nigga is that I was showing you at the moment. And that wasn't me. And so that was I'm not going back. I ain't going back to that space. And this podcast has been like the door that allowed me to actually be me. And so now when people say shit about me that's dope, like I can accept that because this is me. I'm not I'm not doing the dance no more. So yeah, that's all this episode is. Hopefully it hasn't been like, I don't know, too dry and hopefully it hasn't been too much kumbaya. It's been real. I tried to, tell a joke at my own expense every once in a while. Hopefully it's been entertaining. That's if you made it this far, you the real MVP, and I appreciate you for rocking with me. As always, check out the merchandise store. whatistws.com/store. Summer the algorithm. Coupon code algorithm will get you 20% off your entire order. You know what I'm saying? Like, prioritize authenticity over likes. Do it for the algorithm. Do it for the algorithm shit. All of them is dope to me, but pick your favorite one and get 20% off. whatistws.com/store. With that being said, can't forget this. So yeah, I'm on the happy hour, the All on the Table happy hour on Opulence Radio. That's Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check that out. Super dope. I'm also on Self-Care Sundays, doing more like recovery-based type stuff. That's on 1 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. I'm working on some other content. We'll see if that actually comes to light, but keep your ear out for that. But yeah, just check out Opulence Radio as a whole. Sorry. Shouts to my man DC, the new COO of Opulence Radio. But I think, anytime if you get a chance, get the app, go to the website, you tune in any point, any day, it's gonna be some dope content. All my favorite people are there. So make sure you go check that out. But with that being said, y'all be safe, be easy, be the light, and know this: if you know nothing else, you are not terminally unique. There's somebody who understands, and I fucking love you. Holla.
Last call for alcohol. Yeah. If this is it, like if this is the last joint, if this is the last hurrah, it's the last call for alcohol, baby. I gotta say, whether you knew it or not, it's pretty much at the finest bar establishment, the finest spirits and libations y'all could have had, baby. You might realize it now, you might have realized it back then. You might realize it later. Love.